You've been to Shannon, Ireland, they got the biggest duty-free store in the world there. The place is huge. They sell everything on booze, linen, wool, you name it. So we all stopped off there to refuel the plane and spend our last dollars. And coming back, we had to fill out a customs declaration just like you do, like everybody does when they come back to the United States, of what you bought, and if you're over the limit, you have to pay the duty for it. And generally, it's not very much money. We had the honor system of the fact that, courtesy of the port, we had to fill the forms out, but we would not have our baggage checked, and what we put on that form would be accepted as the truth. Coming back into Andrews, the limit at that time was $200 to get in duty free. And he shouts out in the cabin of the plane, "Don't anybody declare over $200. And I nudged Jenny and I said, "Still at it, still chiseling." Well, he finally got caught. He took money from Tungsten Park. His career was spent about $1 million around Washington. And the ethics committee got hold of it, and he was reprimanded. And so Charlie sends a letter out to everybody saying that he really is not, does not deserve to be reprimanded. He said, "You all know how honest I am. You're as good as a dog's hind leg." He was reprimanded when people in Beverly Hills were mailing, and he was out of Congress. So it can't happen. Amscam. How many of you recall Amscam? Remember this? Yeah. If those of you who don't, this was an FBI sting. It really bordered on entrapment. But nevertheless, what those men did was wrong. It was a felony to take money. The sting operation ran like this. These agents had a hotel room someplace where they could have cameras and microphones. And then they invited, and I don't know how they picked these members to come in, who were the ones who were nailed, and said that they represented a wealthy Arab. And he was quite willing to come to the district and make an investment, and there was $20,000 in full in each of them. They came in individually. And of course, you're not supposed to take money. I had people come, "You want to come to the area?" I said, "Fine, that's great." Nobody offered me money, and I certainly wouldn't have taken it. It's a real no-no. And so, as it turned out, there were, it's not a it happened to work out this way. There was one Republican involved, Dick Kelly from Florida. We'll talk about him in a second. And the others were 5 Democratic House members and a Democratic senator, Harrison Williams, New Jersey. And in Kelly's case, he was filmed as all of them were, and this thing was recorded. And Kelly, it was almost ludicrous, and this was sad. He took the $20,000 as in cash. You know how hard it is to stuff $20,000 in paper on your suit and not at a show? And so he stuffed it here, in the back pockets, and he says, "Does it show?" His agents must have had a hard time not laughing. Nevertheless, what was to be done about it? Well, we could not expel him from Congress. Only the House itself can expel members. A party cannot expel people from the seat that they hold. But some of the younger members decided that something had to be done. A statement had to be made that our party was not going to stand for this. That we wanted to present an image of ethics, and that anyone who violated ethical standards was not part of our group, our party in the House. And so they called for a conference. And John Rose of Arizona was the Republican minority leader. And so we had this meeting in the committee room in the Rayburn building. We kept the press out as jackals. And got the newspapers here. I don't know very well. I'm sure they call them jackals. Only the Washington wants a jackal, so I didn't have any problem with the local press at all. But they are. So they're just terrible. They truly are. Some of the experiences you have. So anyway, what to do with him? The only thing we could do was to expel him from the conference, put him in Coventry, as the Brits say, you know, you're no longer one of us, you're going to be ostracized. And the other was to deny him funds from the Republican National Congressional Committee. We couldn't do anything else, but this would make a statement about our position. And so we debated it. And some said, well, we can't do this because he hasn't due process. He hasn't had his trial in court yet. And we shouldn't do this until Kelly has been really formally convicted. And he went back and forth. And I must confess, I felt myself drawn first one way and then another. And then finally, a freshman member from Arkansas, Ed Bethune, who happened to have been an FBI agent at one point in his career, got up and he said, I've heard enough. He said, we're talking about rights and privileges in this meeting. He said, it's a privilege to belong to this conference, not a right. It's a privilege to give campaign funds from our national committee. It's not a right. And by what we have seen, what Kelly has done, he has convicted himself. And I think he should be expelled, and he should not have access to funds from our party. And they just, you could tell it brought everybody together. Kelly says it. And he got up and he was crying. It was very embarrassing. And he said, I'm going to walk out. You're not going to toss me out, and I'll be vindicated. You wait and see. All of us owe Bethune a gratitude for being able to identify what was really at stake with Kelly's situation. They all went to jail for it, as a matter of fact. And the ironic thing, one of them, Ray Lederer from Pennsylvania, got reelected, which made a statement about his constituents. But he was expelled, the first time a member of the House has been expelled since the Civil War. There's not. You told me that about until 2 o'clock? Somebody hadn't got me those dollars and I had more time. Quick on Watergate. If I go a little bit over, you'll be glad that you stayed. My first introduction to this was along with everybody else. Picked up the Washington Post, and on the fold of the newspaper, this break-in at the Democratic headquarters in Washington, were the photographs of the burglars. And I recognized one of them. He was a former student of mine. As I told Ron Well, I didn't teach him B&E, that's breaking down. I tried to teach him history at the old Norfolk Division. His name was Frank Sturgis in the paper, but his real name was Frank Fiorini. And I went in the kitchen when my wife was fixing breakfast, and I said, well, you never guess what happened last night? She said, what? I said, some people broke into the Democratic headquarters. I don't know what they were looking for. And I said, and one of them was a student of mine. She said, give me the paper. I said, here he is. I said, his name is Sturgis here, but his real name is Fiorini. And I said, he was in my class back in the 50s.